grabs grace, off we go. Oh, they also grab justification because they like to be justified. Don't worry, just ask for forgiveness. No need of sanctification. Sanctification is very important, and sanctification is a continuous daily process. Daily we are in a battle to battle against our sinful soul, and the power thereof is supplied by Christ. So this is Christianity. Even if now if the church explodes and I think I would have done justice to the message, because this is exactly what we need to understand. But with a few hours that are left, let's just look more deeper into the sanctuary, into the mystery. Because it took Moses 40 years to get a blueprint of the sanctuary. So we can't take 2 hours really to exhaust all that is there. So that is not my aim. I'm not here that when I leave you can say, oh, that man has a deeper understanding of the sanctuary. No, that is not my aim. My aim is to say, God, is there a message for me in what you said? And if there is, how do I share this? Because we are living in an information age. Has anyone noticed? But let me tell you, access to information does not necessarily mean better understanding of reality. We have information, but we don't have a right understanding of reality. The right understanding of reality is brought when we share what we've heard about Christ. This is a big verse, but actually what I wanted to emphasize is what happened to that woman that was caught in adultery. That's John chapter 8, verse 3, verse 11. Jesus Christ says to her, where are your accusers now? And they were all gone. And what does he say? Neither do I condemn thee, go and sin no more. So what just happened there? The royal law said to them, this woman must be stoned to death. She has sinned. But because Christ had come, he says, I don't condemn you. That is what? Justification. But where does it take it? Back to the law. So the law sends me to Christ, and Christ sends me to the law. If I take out the law, then I cannot go to Christ, and Christ there's nowhere to take me. That makes sense, right? Righteousness is law. We need to understand. So the law is righteous, but we cannot obtain righteousness from it because we have transgressed it. The righteousness of the law has been fulfilled by Christ who lived a perfect life. We can, by faith in him, live a righteous life. That's what it means. Because Paul says about the law, it is holy, it is just, and it is good. Right? So when I look at the law, I'm like, whoa, my God, I cannot reach that. I cannot. That is too high. That is high standard. That's what comes to my mind when I look at the law. But then Christ, who came and lived that high standard because he was the law made audible. He was that which speaks. He is the word. He spoke. So the law is Christ embodied. Now the law is embodied in Christ. He is a personalized law, as it were. Or he's a law made audible, as I've said. I think that's the best description to put it. So he reaches that standard for me. I then cannot bypass Christ and try to reach it by myself because I've already transgressed it. But through Christ, Christ, not inherent power. Because most people, when they think about the power of God, they think God just says, charge them with the power, and then, off they go. Then they are Superman, like they can resist power. No, it does not work like that. It's a daily communion. We depend on Christ daily. And when he is within us, we can then resist him. Then it is not I that lives, but Christ. That's what it means. Not just on the Sabbath, but every day. But I've realized in my experience with sin that more power is given on the Sabbath when we fellowship to resist sin. I tell you, I would come to church dragging, like, let me just go there. I'll come and the smiles, the people, the warmth, then I'll feel like the chains have been broken. I'll stop worrying about the sin which I've done, and I'll say, God, I will never sin again. And I go home, face those same walls, and then that sin will come back. And I would hate it as I do it. Smoking. I would hate it. I hate it. And then the words of Paul came to life. I see that which is good. But how to perform that which is good, I find not. That which I don't want to do, I do it. I do what I hate. Why? Because there's a force that compels a man to do what is wrong when he knows the best. And that force can only be broken by the power of Christ. We need men with war mentality in this age. We need men like Joseph who will wrestle with God. Because that was the battle. Because Joseph was what? A deceiver. How does then God deal with his mentality? He gets him deceived by his uncle Laban, right? What a best way to deal with a deceiver. Get to taste a bit of the medicine. But still, he had learned the lesson, he had the knowledge, but he did not have what? The experience. Then he wrestles with God. I won't let you go unless I'm changed. I say, God, you've called me here. I will have to stand in the pulpit. I will have to preach in the train. I can't go like this. Fix me. Took some time, but I was fixed. Romans chapter 9, verse 31 to 32. But Israel, which followed after the law of righteousness, has not attained to the law of righteousness. Why? Because they were using a checkpoint. Oh, keep the Sabbath. Oh, check. Do not kill. Oh, check. Oh, I'm perfect. So they did not obtain to that because they were looking at the law and thinking that that's how far it is. The law is deeper. And Christ has shown that the law is even deeper by saying that whosoever looketh at a woman and lusts over her has already committed adultery in her mind, taking it even a step further. But they just checked from those points in which they understood. They had not attained to the law of righteousness. Wherefore, because they sought it not by faith, but it was by the works of the law, for they stumbled at that stumbling stone. You can't suck it from the thing. You can't claim it. You can't claim it by yourself, neither can you fake it. Okay, let me just peruse some of the verses. You see, this lecture particularly is heavy on scripture because it is the matters of doctrine. I would have included more pictures there, but what's the point? To keep people awake but feeding them with junk. So that's why I put more verses there, because it was geared to actually challenge non-Adventist mindsets. Only use not liberty for an occasion of the flesh, but by love serve one another. For all the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Have you heard such things? No, the greatest commandment is love. The 10 commandments are not binding. Have you heard such doctrines? What is love? Can I really claim to love my neighbor if I steal from them? If I love my neighbor, I fulfill the law. If we all kept the law, we need not to lock our doors, we need not to lock our cars. Heaven will be on earth, literally. And that's why Christ says that the kingdom of God is new. The heavenly standard of living is in everyone that is converted and says Christ faithfully. The kingdom of God is within them. The heavenly standard of living. See? That's what it means. So that is love. And when that comes in me, then I can be able to care for strangers. I can be able to commune, to share. Then the law is fulfilled in love. Love is not devoid of the law. Because this is not an emotion, just to emphasize. If it was, it wouldn't have been commanded. For the flesh lusts against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. So there's a battle here. So we can't take the things of the flesh and mingle them with the things of the spirit. We can't say we are a spiritual man, but yet be entertaining the flesh. It is a contradiction. There's war. We must fight against it. If we are in it, we need to pray now before probation closes. It cannot harmonize. There is war. But the Lord was not perfect. We must understand. Meekness, temperance, against such there is no law. Just because you think, I keep the Sabbath, I do this, you don't all of a sudden become meek. That's why to preach the law without Christ is very detrimental. Very detrimental. Because then we become what? Pharisees. I'm holier than thou. But the love of Christ is able this law in a more glorious way. And they that are Christ have crucified the flesh with the affection and lust. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Let us not be desirous of vain glory, provoking one another, envying one another. This is what Paul is saying. I've underlined desirous of vain glory there. Actually, I did this yesterday. I prepared this letter, I think, a couple of years ago. But I just underlined that when I was perusing through it yesterday. Because I was once sitting in the train, perusing through the great controversy, and I just started writing something that was very interesting. That I titled that writing that the kingdom, the power, and the glory. We're living in a world today where people want the power and the glory of God. Am I right? People want it. They want the power of God. In fact, they don't call themselves preachers no more. Men of God. They want the power. They want to cast out demons. They use his name in vain. But they don't want his kingdom. Why? Because his kingdom is fortified with his law. And when they see that, they say, no, put that aside. Give me that power. And by putting the law aside and demanding the power of God, you get power, but not from God. From the devil. So the kingdom, the power, and the glory goes together. If you want the power and the glory, then you must seek ye first what? The kingdom of God and his righteousness, and everything shall be added. That is the power and the glory. If like we don't deserve any glory, glory is of Christ. That's why we even have every right to surrender our crowns to him when we shall be crowned in the new world. There's going to be crowning, but you know that. And that moment, when the time of trouble shall come, when we shall be slaughtered by these spiritual people, that moment when we get our head cut, God knights. Are you hearing me? There's another knighting system that is happening here on earth. If you slit a throat, perform homosexuality, you get knighting. But there's a counterfeit. There's a knighting. But it can only be seen by faith. So that moment will come one day where we shall receive the crown which we receive by faith. And it will have stars. And the stars will be dependent upon the number of those who've led to God. You see? So we are laboring to bring people into the church of God, not because we want the crown, but because we are compelled by his love. But because God is faithful and he honors obedience, there will be a crown. There will be a 90, as it were. I think I'm looking forward to that day more than anything. In fact, when I pray, I say, God, help me not to just pray for earthly things, but also to see heavenly things, to long for heavenly things than earthly things. Because sometimes I look around, I don't have this, I don't have this. Oh God! And a thought comes to me, but this is not your home. Then my prayer, though I ask for material, there's nothing wrong with material. It is the exaltation of material above God that becomes a problem. Let us look at the gospel. Here is the perfect gospel that people misunderstand. It is filled with mysteries. It is filled with symbols. And yet, I just find it amazing that God could confine the wisdom of Christ in this tent. Powerful. It's really powerful. I love the deep things of God, and that's what I pray for. Because in the sanctuary, not only do we see the blueprint of salvation, but we also see the image of man. The outer court being his body, the inner temple, the holy place being his soul, and the most heaven being the spirit. Man is not dual, it's not soul and spirit, and soul and spirit are not interchangeable. That is the subject of another day. It is mysterious. So we see there that the gate was made of colors. That is blue, purple, scarlet, and white. And those colors had were symbolic. And we know that blue is a color of obedience or law, and then purple is a color of royalty, red is a color of sacrifice, and then white is a color of righteousness. And the tent thereof was supported by pillars. And there's a promise in Revelation to one of the churches that to them that overcome will I make pillars in my Father's house. So this also was built according to the pattern of the heavenly sanctuary. So what Moses built there in Exodus was but a mere type or symbol of what the temple in heaven looked like. Then we have the altar where the lamb would be sacrificed, which we'll go through now. And the laver of worship, which was divided into two compartments. And then also in the door, so there's a gate in the door, and Christ says, I am the door. So everything there just points to Christ. There blue, again, those colors that reflects royalty, obedience, royalty, sacrifice, and righteousness. And then we go into the inner temple, which had ceremonially seen burning with oil, the oil being the symbol of the Holy Spirit, the light being Christ thereof. And the bread also being the symbol of Christ, and the bread that came from heaven. And the altar of incense symbolizing the prayer. And then we go to the innermost room where the presence of God dwelled, where there was a mercy seat. Inside the mercy seat was the law, the mercy shielding us from the condemnation of the law. And the ark also was the pot of manna and the rod of Aaron. This is our doctrine, isn't it? Beautiful. We'll explore it as we go. Purple, red, royalty, red sacrifice, blue obedience, white righteousness. If you mingle red and blue, you get purple. What is red? What is red? Sacrifice, right? So if you mingle sacrifice and obedience, you live as royalties. That's what it means. So you don't just claim to be a royal priesthood without obedience. And you don't just claim obedience without accepting the sacrifice. We must accept the blood of the Lamb and obey, then you shall live as royalty. Because if you mix these two colors, you get purple, which is royalty. There it was, as constructed there, and the children of Israel were around it, and the Levites were ordained to be the priests who carried the ark. And the presence of God dwelt there in daytime as a cloud, and in the nighttime as the light. And they still obeyed, disobeyed, I mean. When the presence of God was manifested right there in front of them, they still disobeyed. A stiff-necked generation indeed, and we are not any better. And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld His glory as the glory of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. So the whole sanctuary is a blueprint of salvation, and every furniture, even to the thread, there was a symbol of Christ. Let us then look at the furniture bit by bit. There we have the altar of sacrifice. I don't think this is a perfect replica for that, because it had an opening in both ends. As you enter through the gate, then you see the ashes of the burnt sacrifice. But this is what I found online. So this is where the sacrifice of the lamb would be offered. So as you enter through the gate, just like anyone coming to Christianity, isn't it? The first thing there, I have to accept what? The sacrifice. So there you see, in the Jewish time, because they were being taught Christ in symbols. As you see, you take the lamb, and the lamb was burnt there for sacrifice. And you go there to the next part, which was the love of worship. This is also not a perfect replica, because it was a two section, the top and the bottom. And then the priest would take a portion of the meat from the burnt sacrifice and the blood, washes his hand there, and then he would proceed to the holy place. And the holy place there, as we have explained the furnitures already, and sprinkle the blood on the curtain, which also is a symbol of the flesh of Christ, as Paul says, as Matthew says. And there is the same thing again. And the prayers of the saints and the smoke of the incense which came with the prayers of the saints ascended before God out of the angel's hand. So we understand the altar of incense, or the incense burning, to be the symbol of the prayers of the saints. And there we have the ark, as we already explained. This is Adventism. This is the whole doctrine of Seventh-day Adventist. Because now, we are no longer in the holy place, as we know what happened according to the prophecy in Daniel chapter 8, verse 14, unto 2,300 days. That's our bread and water. If we don't know that, we need to study that, but also we need to be reminded, so I know we understand those prophecies. So this is all our doctrine. Why do I say that? We have 5 pillars in our doctrine. Let's just talk about them. What do you see there that is in line with our doctrine? I'll just start. I see the law. We preach the law. The world opposes the law, but there's a law there. And the 4th commandment of the law, we also preach the Sabbath. That's 2. What else? What else do you see? Do you see the health message there? The pot of man, right? That's 3. What else do you see? Do you see the state of the dead there? It's not written anywhere, but the rod of Aaron there, buried, symbolizing God's ability to bring life from a dead object. What is the 5th pillar? The spirit of prophecy, right? Which I don't think there's any symbol there in particular that we can point out to. Maybe the presence of God, maybe inspiration, but that would just be speculation, which I would rather not take. But that is our message. We are worshiping according to the most holy style. And we moved there in 1844 as Christ moved to the most holy place. We also moved there. So that's beautiful. That's our message. And the high priest would have to dress in a certain fashion because he was going to be presented before God. And we know what happened in Yom Kippur, which is the day of judgment or the day of atonement. He had to go there and they had to tie a rope around him in case he dies before the presence of God. And the ephod there, all was symbolic, 12 ephods there, each representing the tribe of Israel. Now the sacrifice. Now notice what happened in the sacrifice. If his offering be a burnt sacrifice of the head, let him bring a male without blemish. He shall offer it in his what? Voluntary will at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before the Lord. When the offering of the sacrifice, what is it to us now? When the Jews then offer the sacrifice of the lamb, what is it to us today? Accepting Christ, right? Can we be forced to accept Christ? We have to do it in our voluntary will, because God is not interested in forced services. It's too much writing there. And it's after lunch. Okay, please allow me to just read this book. I mean, maybe I won't read everything, but I think this is the crux of the matter. It's a heavy read. I know. You know, I've been advised by professors and expecting lecture presentation that, a slide must have, at least a few slides. And that's true. But, sometimes I don't want to omit things or to talk a lot. So that's why I put things on the slide so everyone can see the references and they can go find out themselves. So I end up transgressing the law of PowerPoint presentation. But I think it's important that we all get reference, isn't it? Yeah, so we can find it for ourselves. Then if I have more there, then I'll speak less. Although I don't think it's helpful because I also speak a lot. Okay, the central thing in the sanctuary service was the blood of the atonement. All the other services would have been absolutely useless if there had not been a way to provide the remission of sins through the blood. All have sinned, the wages of sin is death. Without the shedding of the blood, it's not a remission of sin. Romans 3:23, the verses are given. These 3 divine declarations bring us face to face with the solemn fact that there is no other way for any man to be saved but through the blood of Jesus Christ. He is despised because the verse of Isaiah. So that's, if you want to get reference, that's a Great Judgment Day by J.L. Shula, 1923. You can get it online just to reference the commentary on the sanctuary. Beautiful. You can get a soft copy online, as I did, or if you like, you can buy. Yeah, and that was the sacrifice. And the high priest did not work alone in the sanctuary. He had 24 elders in which he worked with in the sanctuary. And the sacrifice is a picture symbolizing when the sacrifice was burned in the altar. And the lamb, you had to kill the lamb because you are the reason why Christ was hanged on the cross. So you also here, God was teaching them Christ because they had to see what their sin has brought to the poor, innocent lamb. Okay, then Leviticus explains more. And the priest shall take the blood thereof with his finger and put it on the horns of the altar of the burnt offering. We know these verses. You can just get the reference to the verses if you do not know them, so that I don't do heavily. Now the gospel hasn't changed, as I've been emphasizing. I think that is the point of this message. The gospel hasn't changed. And I think we need to tell this message to the world because it's clear, it's beautiful, no contradiction, no confusion. The next day John seeth Jesus coming unto him and said, Behold, the Lamb of God, which taketh away the sins of the world. The Lamb in Christ. Isaiah surely he had borne our griefs. We understand in verse 1 chapter 3 verse 1. Behold, what manner of love the Lord hath bestowed upon us that we should be called the sons of God. Therefore the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not. In fact, I think it was a book called 70 Great Christians, I think. I'm not sure of the title. It was sort of giving a picture of how the Christians were perceived in the time of Nero, the emperor. The things they said, really they were seen as a cult, because there are many people today that see Adventism as a cult. In fact, I was reading a book by a gentleman called Martin Walter or something that wrote the book about cults. But nevertheless, let me give the description of the Roman at the time of Nero. They saw Christian as a group of sect that they had congregation, one thing in particular, they were seen as strange people. And these people did not participate in the worldly festivities of the time. And they did not offer, they refused to offer to the Roman gods. And that was an insult to the Romans, because they believed that if the gods are worshipped properly, then the gods will bless. So if we have a people within that nation that are not worshipping their gods properly, then they will have to be exterminated. And that led actually to the extermination of Christians at that time, because they were seen as strange people. And I tell you, if we live according to the scripture, word by word, we are going to be so different from the world as light is from darkness. The reason why we seem to be the same with the world is because we are compromising principle. If we live according to the scripture, we are going to be strange to the people, and they are going to kill us. That's going to happen. Seventh-day Adventist, same thing happened. When the Seventh-day Adventist, according to this guy, Walter Martin, you can search for his book, it was actually endorsed by Ravi, whom I revered so much back then. But anyways, Ravi Zacharias, a very well-known speaker, but he's not Adventist, but he's an apologist. In the book that this guy, Walter Martin, writes, he says that in their inception, the Adventists were more strange and more cultic than they are now. Actually, I thought to myself, then when we were more cultic, that's when we were even closer to God. Now, we don't appear to be cult because we are conforming with the world. I'm not saying we should be dubious and dressed like pilgrims, but modest is beautiful. That's what I'm saying. This is the truth for what it is. So according to this guy, Walter Martin, in fact, this Walter Martin guy had a conversation with one of our leaders in the 1950s. And I think a gentleman by, I see some of his name, but let me not say his name because I'm unsure of the evidence. But they went and had a meeting with the General Conference President at that time, and they asked them a simple question to find out whether the Seventh-day Adventist Church was a cult. And among the question was, what nature did Christ take when he came to the world? Because the Seventh-day Adventists then administered that Christ took the human nature of Adam after the fall, not pre-fall. And that Christ had the same nature as we have, and that sin, by sin being nature, or having the nature of sin, does not mean that you are sinful and there's nothing you can do about it. It only means that you have inclination towards sin. And the other doctrine which was questioned was the doctrine of 1844, whether they believed that Christ moved from the holy place to the most holy place. And guess what? The Adventists compromised on these doctrines so that they may not be viewed by the world as a cult. Because all the Protestant church at that time were advocating that Christ had a special nature than us. That's why he had victory. So he had an advantage over us when it comes to sin. But the Seventh-day Adventists were contrary to that. And that then they would be perceived as a cult. They compromised, and the book called Questions on Doctrine was published with a compromise of what we actually stood for. And the other issue I think was about the Trinity. That's something that you can do a research on. But I tell you, if we live according to scriptures, we are going to be unique, we are going to be different from the world as far as light is from darkness. As night is from the day, we will be unique. Okay, I have more words on the slide and I'm still talking too much. I guess it's kind of, I don't know if it's a gift or kiss. So the worldly sanctuary. So Hebrews is a book designed to make known to the Hebrews that whatever they were performing in the ancient times is now brought to manifestation in Christ. The whole book dedicated to instruct the Hebrews of what they were doing in the past is actually have come to fulfillment. Hebrews chapter 9 verse 1 to 4. Then verily the first covenant had also ordinance of divine service, a worldly sanctuary. For there was a tabernacle made, the first wherein was the candlestick, and you see, Paul now is giving what? He's giving a sanctuary message to the Jewish people who do not understand or who have not accepted Christ, or even to the Christians today. And the table and the shewbread, which is called the sanctuary. And after the second veil, and the tabernacle, which is called the holiness of all, or most holy, which had the golden censer and the ark of the covenant overlaid round about with gold, wherein was the golden pot that had manna, and Aaron's rod that budded, and the tables of the covenant. So whatever I've said about the furniture, Paul is saying here, I did not get that from anywhere else, but I got that from the scripture. In fact, the whole book of Hebrews is amazing in explaining the scriptures. So now the sanctuary is the center of the gospel truth. That's why I say any gospel truth needs to be weighed by the sanctuary message. And I think it's best then that we read the Old Testament. The book of Hebrews was written to show that the sacrifice of the old were types. A type is a symbol of future reality, of the greater sacrifice of the new. Each priest were types of Jesus Christ. They were standing there as symbols of a future reality which should come. So in his perfect priesthood and their ministry was performed under the shadow, an example of the ministry of our high priest above. So every service which was carried forth in the earthly sanctuary in the time of Moses and until the coming of Christ, all that was symbolic of what? Of what Christ would be doing in heaven. Now some say that when Christ ascended to heaven, he went to the most holy place. Therefore, he couldn't have moved to the most holy place in 1844. You Adventists are cherishing a delusion. But the question is that, when did he do then the service in the holy place? Because he needed to have done service in the holy place, isn't it? Somehow, he needed to have done service in the holy place after ascension. It couldn't have been before he came, because where then did he get the blood? Because the priest had what? To sprinkle the blood in the holy place, and once a year, symbolic of the judgment, he would then do service in the what? In the most holy place. So when Jesus Christ ascended to heaven, he did not go to the most holy place, as some would like to deceive us in our own church. The Epistle of the Hebrews in the New Testament is a commentary on the book of Leviticus in the Old Testament. Perfect. Tracing the priesthood and the remedial work of Jesus Christ as typified in every detail in the Levitical priesthood and the complete round of sacrificial service in the earthly sanctuary. It is clear then that in order to understand the work of Jesus Christ as a high priest as set forth in Hebrews, we must understand the meaning of those services which were performed by the Levitical priesthood in the earthly sanctuary, as commanded by Moses in the book of Leviticus. The is no other subject which is so fully unites all parts of the sacred volumes into the harmonious whole as this subject of the sanctuary. Every gospel truth centers in the sanctuary service and radiates from it like the rays of the sun. Perfect. The sanctuary is glorious, and we need to pay attention to the Old Testament. We need not to be deceived to say that we are the New Testament generation. We've looked at the artifacts, and we've also looked at the furnitures. We've looked at everything there, but I want to also show you something. Why this is called the plan of salvation. When you become Christian, you accept the sacrifice, right? So that's the altar of innocence. What do you do next? You get baptized. That's the love of worship. Does it end there? Because some people like to accept the sacrifice, get dipped in the water, and turn around. We can't turn around. We must proceed to eat of the bread, the scriptures, so we may grow. What happens when we eat the bread? Then our soul radiates with the light of God. And that is what the seven kingdoms do. And what else do we do? We pray. Scripture and prayer. So this is a plan of salvation because this is a Christian walk. It's a Christian walk. You go through, first step, you must go through the gate. And Christ being the door thereof. Then you accept Christ. Wow, He died for me, even me. Then you go through the gate. You accept the sacrifice. But you must show to the public that you are on the other side now. Because two kingdoms, by getting dipped in the water, immersed, not sprinkled, or I got that kind of baptism, but anyway. And then you walk, then you start partaking of the bread. And as you partake of the bread, the light of Christ shines within you through the Holy Spirit, the oil that keeps the lampstick burning. And then you pray, expressing your desires to God. Maybe if I just share with you the man itself, because that's a symbol of the man. And man is a what? Body, soul, and spirit. And the spirit is not interchangeable with the soul. Greek mythology likes to say that, and they won't believe that. What a shame. The soul is not the same with the spirit. The spirit is something different. So here, the outer court is the symbol of your body. It gives you one consciousness. If I touch it, it's burning, then I feel that burning. That's the outer court. And then the first compartment is the soul. The brain is the intellectual, because your soul is divided into three. That is your intellectual, your reasoning, your emotion, and your will. That is not represented by the compartment. That is your intellectual. And then the essence burning and going to the most holy place, expressing your desires to God. That would be your emotion. And then your spirit, which is communion, intuition, which I think there are three parts, is communion and intuition. And consciousness, because consciousness is not a result of just the brain. In fact, I've been studying a lot of thought. It's a quite a deep subject. But I think the subject will provide answers to that. But nevertheless, we're not dealing with man today. But it's beautiful. So Christian walk, accept the altar, accept the sacrifice, go through the altar, eat of the bread, radiate sharing. That's the light now. Pray. And go to the most holy place. And that's where now you have your 10 commandments. You have your pot of manna. And then you have the rod of Aaron, barley. And then you have the very presence of God. And I believe that spiritually we are in the most holy place. Together with our Savior. We are in the most holy place. There are those that are still in the holy place demanding of the Spirit of God. And according to early writings, we know who is now standing there, breathing his demonic forces and compelling them and giving them fake power.